Okay, it says we are live. Hopefully that is all true. Hello, welcome. I started during the last bit of Lisa Daly's show or stream, and I've gotten 276 words in the documents that I started. So we're doing okay in terms of good start. It was also a good day because it's sushi day at Kroger, so I went and got some sushi. And I got some pumpernickel bread while I was there. So yay. I don't think that's necessarily what my doctor wants. My doctor did say that I should try and limit / cut the amount of white bread that I have. So, which we have like sandwiches and stuff all the time, and usually white bread is what we have in the house. So my answer to that has been like pumpernickel bread, rye bread, which is probably not what she means, but they're tasty. So I have some pumpernickel. No, sorry, I got rye brain. I stood there and debated between the rye, the pumpernickel, or the marble. It's like, which one do I want? So yeah, so she'll probably tell me that's not what she meant, but I've bought it, so I need to use it now. Let's see, what else? It's actually a really nice temperature out today, like mid 60s Fahrenheit. So I think after the stream, I'll be able to go for a meandering walk, and it'll be nice. Yeah, it'll be nice. Be good. Especially because I think it's supposed to rain again this weekend, so it would be good to get out and have a little bit of sunshine and fresh air before the rains coop us up again. So Renee, hello, welcome, welcome, welcome. Stacy burnt your lunch. Oh no! Did you eat it anyway? Scrape it off? Start again? Let us know what you did. Besides, be sad about burning the lunch because 'tis very sad. Renee is also knowing at the burnt lunch. Diane also is like, no, bummer. We don't like the burnt lunch. We'll eat it, but we don't like it. Monique says, hey y'all. Hello, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Diane says, hello all. Yes, hello. 1,000 Great Books. Hello, hello, welcome. Rachel is here and is hugging the like button. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Free range female. Hello, welcome. Welcome, welcome. Okay, so Monique was answering the poll first because, yes, it takes me, for whatever reason, the polls, if I do them far ahead of time, they disappear. So I have to do them like right before the stream. So, but the poll question for today is, does your main character consider rainbows lucky? Yes, because they're rare. Yes, because your main character has found the gold. No, because your main character is a super practical, logical person and they don't believe in luck or rainbows or whimsy. Or no, because you haven't written a rainbow into the story yet and your main character has never seen one. Or they live on a different planet and rainbows aren't a thing because of the way that the light and the moisture and all of that happens. Who knows? It's your story. I don't know. So Monique says, Gabby would consider rainbows lucky, while Susie would just admire the rainbows aesthetically. Gotcha. Black Widow says, hello. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Stacy still ate the lunch. Didn't char it, thankfully. Good. It was a grilled ham and cheese. But yeah, grilled sandwiches sometimes are really touchy. It's because the kind of butter and or margarine and or oil that you use cooks at a different temperature. And how hot your pan is or what kind of pan and how it distributes heat and all that kind of stuff. Very, very touchy. So Stacey says your main character would consider them lucky if it worked in her favor. If not, Nah. I know that feeling. Yes. Yes, yes. Okay, so this is your reminder that Archer and Olive dropped the spring collection today. I have made my purchase already. Um, so I like added everything I wanted, and then I had to go back and like take some things out just because the budget was not there. But I did get, I think, most of everything I wanted. And when I went back in, it's like, well, okay, I think I was like pulled up in the hype, and I was like, I don't necessarily need this stamp set. This one. I need the other one, but I don't need this one. Like, I don't necessarily need the green and the yellow stamp pad, but I do want the purple one that they released a while back. So I got that. Things like that. I did get the Dragon Spire washi tape set. I did not get the Knight's Sword set. I was contemplating that one, but I think I would only use 2 out of the 4, like ever. And so I was like, I'll put it back. It's fine. So yeah. But very pretty journals are on the way soon. I'm sure they're probably not on the way today. I don't know if they start packing the day of launch or if they just have it be a celebration day. I don't know. But I did find, so this was a weird thing. So I refreshed the page at 10:02 because 10 Eastern is 9 Central, whatever. And so I think not all of the links were live yet, but when I clicked on like the Dragonspire or the Dragonspire and the Beauty and Books notebook, it said A5. And when I clicked through and like added to cart, it rang up as $43. And I was like, that seems a little high. So then once a few minutes had passed and I went back and looked at, I was trying to find the listing where all of the different sizes were and you could swap between them. And the A5 was 39, I think. No, that's 39 or 37. I can't remember. 35? Anyway, it was cheaper. So there was something where on the initial end where the A5s were showing up as $43 and ringing up in the cart as 43. So I took those out and then re-added them from the main listing that had the multiple sizes that you could choose from. And they rang up at the correct price. So, yay. So that was a weird thing. But I successfully placed my order. So, my wallet is lighter and I will have very pretty notebooks soon. Very soon. Okay, so Kara is trying to keep us on track with the card pulls. The Enchanted map, you pulled the Wishing Well. It's number 48. Desire is the sacred impulse for life. Feel it, but let go of all attachment to ownership. This is a good one because you can want things to go a certain way. You can visualize it. You can plan for it. You can take action for it. But don't be too upset when life happens and you have to pause, derail, take a different road, put that plan off to a different time. So don't get super attached to your plans because life is going to happen. Your main character probably overthinks rainbows and all such phenomenon and adds to the pathetic fallacy. Gotcha. Yeah. Fenrir considers rainbows beautiful and even inspiring, but he's a practical, no-nonsense kind of guy, so he doesn't see any magic in them. Gotcha. Diane is suggesting that Stacy sees the burntness as extra fiber and crunch. Renee stepped away to deal with meds and came back to so many people. Yes, sometimes we have a lot, and it's nice because that means we're all going to work together. So Diane says, welcome back, Renee. Good to be back. Yes. Yes, yes. Okay, so we need to pull the cats from the calendar. And then we need to pull a card. from my end. Okay, so we have a pun today. What is moving in the bushes? I'm stumped, because it's a stump. Very cute. Very cute little hunter. And then we have waking up early and watching the sunrise can renew faith and impart a sense of awe. Just make sure you're facing east. Very true. But also, look at that coat. So cute. So very, very cute. Okay, and today we need to listen to the hawk, apparently. Let the spirit be your guide is the main message. Renee says your main character, Elias, finds rainbows magical as a reminder that even the simple things are still wonderful. I like that. Yeah, I like that. Third 2 is our hawk message. Here's our hawk up close. Let the spirit be your guide. And then we're out of focus again. Can we? Yes. Fantastic. Okay, so hawk. Flying high above the landscape, the hawk sees both the big picture and the small details, observes the rain and the pond as well as the cloud, and doesn't miss anything. When the hawk arrives, you are called to pay close attention to messages from the universe that can appear anywhere in any form. Listen to your intuition and keep your eyes open for synchronicities, the meaningful coincidences. The hawk asks you not to dismiss the signs that the universe is sending to guide you. Lately, have you been hearing the same word or song, or coming across the same symbol here, there, and in the strangest of places? Perhaps you hear a song on the radio with just the right lyric pertaining to your query, or you begin to notice uncanny billboards, license plates, or other places where repetitive numbers or words show up for you to notice. Pay attention to the animals that appear for you and connect with their symbolism. The universe wants to communicate and reaches out again and again, so when the hawk arrives, it is a sign to listen. So there you go. We have look at the big picture, pay attention to the small details, and look out for synchronicities and signs. That's the card in a nutshell. Stacy has a side topic. Monday, you were not here to do it to a migraine. It was bad enough that you did not pick up your new glasses, but you did do that yesterday. Another thing that happened on Monday was ... incoming, I'm sure, as soon as YouTube lets it through. Diane says, oh, I haven't pulled my tarot today. Thank you for the reminder. Also, yes, yesterday was the Lunar New Year. It was the new moon. Forget what sign it is. Let's check. Let's check my notes. New moon, February, Aquarius, which makes sense because zodiac. Hello. So if you have not done your new moon tarot spread and you intend to do one, there's a reminder. Yeah. Also, make sure you have something to hydrate with because we want to hydrate today. Make sure we are hydrated. I have a full glass of water and I also have a mug of lavender chamomile tea. So, okay, so the other thing that happened on Monday was you realized you have a giant plot hole in your story. Oh no! You know what my characters are doing, but you don't know why. So you have to figure out the reason to send them on this mission. Okay, so you have to figure out the external plot reason rather than the internal. But some of that is internal too, depending on like if life is forcing them on this mission or they are choosing to take this mission. External versus internal, yeah. Two of Cups. Ooh, balancing emotions. Okay. All right. Okay, we've done the cats. We've done the card. I think we are ready to get started. So we need a timer. And I'm going to start us off with a silent. I'm going to start with the winter morning. Let's make it share the screen, 30-minute winner. Make it big. Double check that it's doing what it's supposed to do. Basically, because they're going to be traveling, and you were thinking that they could be trying to be recruited to another faction because of the undercover mission. Okay. But that would basically be working for the other faction, and you don't want that. It would be too overt. Gotcha. Okay. Could they be sent to investigate? Sort of rather than being undercover, just like hang around, be skulky, try and pick up information, that kind of thing. Kara says the two cats we adopted look a bit like the first cat, which was the gray and white. The gray and white kitty. Very cute. Very cute. Okay, let's go ahead and get the ball rolling. So 1, save your document if you've already been working. 2 is make sure you take a sip of whichever drink you would like. Hydrate. Cheers. Okay, that idea wouldn't work for where you have them doing the mission. Gotcha, Stacy. 3 is to straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back, do a posture check, make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4 is if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, how we doing? Uh, I don't know how many. Okay, we'll have to do this in a minute. Close. Okay. How'd we do? How was that? I think I got about 300 or 400, somewhere in there. Some of it is like copy paste, rearranging. Um, yeah. Okay, how did we do? I feel like I got something done anyway, which is always good. It's nice when you feel like you don't spend the whole time just spinning your wheels and not getting anything done. So it does feel like I made some progress, even if it wasn't a great deal of progress. So, okay, let's see. Stacy says you're working on the sequel to The Brink, which you are so excited that you finished, but the sequel is killing you currently. Yeah. And we always want to make sure that the sequel is just as good, if not better, than the first. I mean, we hope we get better, but yeah. Kara says you're going to be doing the recovery writing for EDA in the Solution Writing magazine. Nice. If anybody's interested, here's the link. Great. I'm glad that you are getting both your writing time and your connection to the EDA, which is great. Diane says, okay, you need to run errands with hubby. Please, plans keep changing today. They do. Life happens. So you're going with the flow. No pun intended, but the plumber just left. Gotcha. Well, hopefully after the plumber, things are flowing the way they should. Thank you for this, Ritz. You're welcome. Thousand Great Books says you're slow, but you've heard slow is smooth, smooth is fast. I like that because yeah, if everything is crazy, like some of the nano months, uh, my rough drafts and first attempts at things are so rough. They're bad. And then I have to go in what feels like 1,000 times to fix it. Whereas if I had taken a little bit more time in the first place, I wouldn't have had to do as much revisions, and so I might wind up on the positive side of time. So yeah. Rachel got 3/4 done of this formatting. Nice. You found a head hopping portion, so you're gonna need to clean that up. Gotcha. Yep. Renee read 2 scenes and made tea. Excellent. What flavor tea did you have? Did you make? Yeah, I finished off the last of the lavender chamomile that my aunt had gotten us, and so I put it on the shopping list for the other day. So this is different brand, but it's still nice. Still nice. I also tried overnight oats with chia for the first time. I went to Costco yesterday, and they had like a ready-made berry overnight doings. So they have little bits of cranberry, raspberry, and blueberry, I think, like mixed in or powdered with chia seeds and rolled oats. So their recipe is just like 1/3 of the cup of mix and a 1/2 cup of water. And then like either leave it for at least 2 hours, but overnight for better results. And so I remembered right before I went to bed. So I probably it could probably use a little bit more time to like solidify a little bit. It also might be better with milk instead of water. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't. I don't know what I expected, but it was like, so the berry was a nice addition, the like berry flavoring. Um, but every time I got like a whole rolled oat in my mouth, it was just oat flavor. So I wasn't a huge fan of that. So I wound up chopping up half a banana and putting some honey in as well, just to sweeten it a little bit more. So yeah, so I'm going to try it again with milk and see how it does with that as just the base, and then maybe I'll add another banana to it or something. But yeah, I don't know. And then I was kind of, because of the chia seeds, I have heard that because of the amount of fiber, it can cause some digestion things to happen. Nothing out of the ordinary. So no great big surprise or urgency with that, which is good because that way you can have that as a regular part of your life and not have it mess up your timing of things. So always good. Probably TMI, right? But hey, sometimes, because like I wasn't sure what the texture would be like because I've never had chia pudding. And so I wasn't sure if I was going to love the texture. But some people like swear by it as like great, lovely, tasty, etc. And so I want, like, I've been thinking about it for a while, but we have oatmeal oats rather than like, I guess they're steel cut rather than rolled, and apparently that makes a difference texture wise. So there you go. Renee made Earl Grey tea, solid option, solid. Yeah, yum to that. Yeah, I saw it, and once I realized it had added raspberry and other berries, I was like, yeah, we'll try that. So we'll try it. Okay, let's do the second sprint. Second sprint is the self-promo time. So if you are interested in, let's do another silent rather than the water timer. 3. Ooh, exactly. Nice. Okay. Rachel says, I finally tried chia pudding and I really like it. I would say it's kind of like boba, but tiny. Yeah, and so that was the thing. I was contemplating whether I should buy like just chia seeds or if I should buy the overnight oat stuff to try it. And so I went with the overnight oat and chia pre-made. But I think I might eventually, if I don't get sick of them by the time I get through with the Costco sized bag, I might try just the plain chia pudding, not seeds by themselves, because that's bad, very very bad, choking hazard. Because apparently, as they go down your esophagus, they are sucking up your saliva and growing, doing the gel and whatnot. And so yeah, don't just eat dry chia seeds. That's bad. You can get the best health-wise by getting rolled oats and chia seeds separate and then add the goodies you want. Gotcha. Yeah, because it does have some added somethings in there. So, but if you're shopping around at Costco and you see a rolled oats, overnight oats and chia doings with berries, it's decently tasty. So, you need to leave the chia seeds in water for at least 4 hours before eating. Yeah. The box said, or I mean the package said 2 hours minimum and overnight for best. I was like, yeah. So, or almond milk or regular milk, whichever milk you want. Yeah. Yeah, I think it says Or, well, no, it didn't say anything about milk on the package. It just said water, which, again, if you're on a budget, is good that you can use water instead of a milk of some kind, but, or if you would rather use your milk in other things. Okay, let's do the second sprint. So 1, save your document. 2 is take a sip. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back for that posture check. Make sure you're not slouching too much. And 4 is if you need a break, take a break. Here we go. 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right. How did we do? Um, okay. How are we doing? I finished the scene I was working on. Now I'm looking at a different thing. All the things. I'm being very vague about it, aren't I? Yeah. Anyway, we're making progress. How we doing? Rachel's talking about tips for chia seed pudding. You let it sit for about 3 to 5 minutes. Stir it up once to break up the clumps in whatever you're making, then let it sit in the fridge overnight and it clumps easily. Yeah, I know when I stirred mine up this morning, it was kind of clumpy. I did stir mine yesterday, but it was immediately after putting the water in. So Eva says hello, hello, welcome, welcome. Funky, hello, welcome. I went to Laura's stream yesterday and I mentioned you were looking for some horror gothic romance vibes for your grandmother. And so she had a couple, but some of them are kind of spicy. So if you don't feel comfortable recommending spice to your grandmother, maybe take that with a grain of salt. So Laura recommended Evocation by S.T. Gibson, Nightmare Before Christmas by Sarah Raas. I can't read my writing, y'all. I'm not sure if that's another A or if it's an E. Oh, shoot. Might be an O. I'm not sure. Spelling, you're going to have to check. And then Hollow by Karina Halle. Smexy Spice. So apparently one of the titles has multiple partners. So again, grain of salt. Don't know how much you're comfortable recommending to your grandmother in terms of spice. So there's that. But those were the authors / titles that Laura recommended on the fly. Again, it's kind of like it's always whenever somebody asks, like, what do you recommend? I'm like, immediately mind goes blank of all names, all titles, like nothing immediately because there's too many. And yet at the same time, there's none in my brain when somebody asks me. Okay. So Funky, I'm not sure if you're because you mentioned Charmed and Teen Wolf and that kind of stuff. For TV shows, has your grandmother seen like Pretty Little Liars, Vampire Diaries? Because those have books. Do you think she might want those as an option? Because that way you read and show. But yeah. So you think the most she can handle is the Charmed level? Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. But anyway, so those were the ones that that popped into Laura's brain. So there we go. Eva, just enjoyed the sunshine. It's so nice out today. It is. It is. It's currently 65, whereas 60, either 63 or 64 earlier. So I'm looking forward to, after the stream, going for a little walk. A little walk in the sunshine. You need to tidy the entryway and finish the dishes before the kiddo gets home in an hour, just so you can play Minecraft with him. Nice. Yeah, get the chores done first so we can play, right? Renee read another scene. Excellent. Good, good, good. Funky says, giant software release happened last night, and all your docs were deployed this morning, so you are free to write your own stuff. Excellent. Good. I hope the software release went well, and no bugs or problems are found. We can hope that, but usually that's, there's at least one or two bugs somewhere. Kara has new book promos up at Reader's Roost. So here's the link for that. Excellent. Yeah. Me guessing all the vowels. Yeah. You'll have to ask her about the Vampire Diaries and Pretty Little Liars. No. It took them about 1 a.m. to roll out the software, but yeah, it went okay. Oh, good. Oh, okay, I might have to answer this. I don't know. I'm going to let them go to voicemail. Kara says, it's sort of like when the server comes to the table and says, what would you like? Suddenly, out the window. Yeah, just like blank. Even if you had been like looking at the one that you wanted or choosing between two, it's suddenly gone. Gone. I get that. Yeah. Okay, they're gonna leave a voicemail. Alrighty. Okay. Let's go ahead and do the third sprint. Do the third sprint. Sometimes I hear myself speak and I am just, I feel like my accent is so thick sometimes that I'm like, oh goodness. Okay, let's do the 30-minute, shall we? No, we're gonna do another silent one. We want silent today. Today, just today. Let's go back to the winter morning. There we go. Swap this over to third sprint. Becky says, I did find some discussion on Reddit with someone asking somewhat the same thing, so you got a few more suggestions in there. Excellent. Well, yeah, Reddit is a great resource for that kind of thing as well. Sometimes Goodreads is a decent, but I feel like people are a little bit more honest in their opinions about books on Reddit. Yeah. There are some people who are very honest about their opinions on Goodreads. But I feel like Reddit is a little bit more blunt about things. All right, let's do this. 1, save your document. 2, make sure you take a sip. Cheers. 3, straighten your spine, roll your shoulders back. It's time for a posture check. And 4 is, if you need a break, take a break. Here we go, 30 minutes in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. How'd we do? Did we do good? I finished what I was working on, logged into my health care system thingy, and filled out the pre-appointment stuff for one of my appointments tomorrow, and then started on the second one. So making progress, doing good. How are we doing? I just wanted to trying to get the stuff straightened out so I don't have to do it late tonight and panic about it. So we're trying to get our ducks in a row. So, um, Kara said, "Oh, this is gross to my southern accent." From Kara's perspective, I don't have much of an accent. I sound like I should be wearing a 10-gallon hat and saying "Howdy, Bard." Yeah. Sometimes I hear it a little thicker than normal. I know it comes out more when I'm stressed and when I'm tired. I know it comes out when I'm stressed, tired, or mad. It like really thickens up, and I learned that when I was teaching. So yeah. Kara says you find Goodreads to be a bit of a cesspool, to be honest. I feel like there's been a lot of sort of marketing that has crept its way into Goodreads, marketing and advertising, as opposed to like honest reviews of things, if that makes sense. Funky has switched to hardcover rather than Goodreads. You like the interface over at hardcover better as well. Nice. You got some draft writing done as well. Nice. Excellent. Yeah, I've not heard of hardcover, so I'll have to check it out and see what it's like. Rachel says you got almost all of the novel over into autocrit, but we never finished the last 2 chapters. So you went in to focus on those. Excellent. Stacy has the little monster home, and you had family stop by as well. Yep, which means not much writing got done. Your accent comes out more when you're tired, so your Colorado friend told you. Yeah. There are still some things that I apparently say that will occasionally baffle other like Southerners who have never left the South, because we did spend like 2.5 years in Utah, which like it wasn't very long in terms of like the entirety of my life, but it was during some pretty formative years. I was like 6 to 8. And so there are some like phrases that I will say that apparently will like I'll get a side eye, and I'm like, sorry that that came from the West. Like I don't know what to tell you. But yeah. So, alrighty, let's see what our rainbow poll has for us. Does our main character consider rainbows lucky? 52% say yes, but that's mainly because rainbows are rare. 24% say no because the main character is a practical and logical kind of person and doesn't really consider luck. 18% say yes, rainbows are lucky because the main character has found the gold at the end of the rainbow. And 6% say no because the main character has never seen a rainbow. Interesting. Nice. Okay. Fantastic. I should have put up the link to Becca's book. Becca C. Smith has released a new book, new title. And if you haven't heard about it, you should definitely take a chance to take the time to go over to Becca's channel and watch her talk about the reason behind this book's existence. And sort of like the little documentary she has pulled together for the facts and newspaper clippings and interviews and things like that. So check out Becca C. Smith's channel for the mini documentary in which she talks about her grandmother chasing her with a knife, and many other things. And sort of that will give you a little bit of a background for what inspired her to write Grandmother's Little Secret. So, and the cover looks great too. It all looks good. So yeah, don't forget to check out Becca's channel and Becca's book buying options. So yeah. Alrighty, let's go ahead and save. Don't forget to save. And make sure you have something to sip on as you transition into wherever you are going next. So check out the authortube sprint link spreadsheet for more sprinties this afternoon. Make sure you take breaks when you need them. And I will see y'all on Friday, because it's Wednesday now. All right. Thank you, and have a lovely rest of your day. Bye.